meant to be some evidence of trustworthiness, but if all you're doing is ticking the boxes, it fails.
From prisons to banks, hospitals to universities, Onora O'Neill's writings about trustworthiness and the focus on honesty, competence and reliability have become hugely influential. But we now live in a new world.
This is fake news.
I'm really surprised the BBC is reporting fake news.
That's fake news, and the BBC shouldn't be a hostage to it.
And I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
The honesty, competence and reliability of media have increasingly come to be questioned. Digital media is easy to manipulate, with photoshopping and so on. Social media, meanwhile, is tricky to evaluate. Twitter handles, for example, can be anonymous.
When you don't know where the message came from, how do you assess it? And that's been known forever and a day. Plato said it in Phaedrus. He understood why Socrates never did any writing, because Socrates was fearful, as he puts it, his words would go fatherless into the world with nobody to stand up for them or explain them. And that is what anonymous communication does.
To judge trustworthiness of information, it helps to know its source. We now live in a world in which the source is often mysterious. But what is more, the internet feeds us and allows us to tailor information and views that we want to hear.
I think that both democracy and all intellectual pursuits, including science, depend upon check and challenge, encountering the positions that are different from what you already believe. The echo chamber can facilitate poorly placed trust. It may lead you to place your trust in something that you hear repeatedly. We see that which is congruent with our own beliefs. We believe it more and more and more. I think it will make people quite sceptical about things of which they don't have first-hand knowledge, or quite credulous. And that's the difficulty, that it will polarise. Some people will be sceptical about everything. Other people will be credulous about a great deal.
The internet offers enormous benefits as well as potential dangers for individuals. But Onora O'Neill has a wider concern. She believes the threat to trustworthiness imperils liberal democracy itself.
Until very recently, I think lots of people were worried about the private harms that could be caused, so the cyberbullying, the extreme pornography, the fraud. And I agree those private harms are very serious. But I think the bigger harm beyond that is harm to the public sphere, to the public space, to people's sense that they can more or less tell whether something is plausible. And I think it reaches a point, as we see in contemporary life, where people find it very hard to tell what's plausible.
So, come on, give me a solution.
I don't have one. I'm very depressed about this. The harm that will be caused to democracy, or indeed at its most depressing, one thinks maybe the termination of democracy. I don't see the remedy yet.
That's a dispiriting thought. We're living at a time where information is increasingly unsourced and unreliable. Perhaps the real lesson from our media revolution is that we should be putting more trust in proven experts like Onora O'Neill. Thanks a lot for listening to The Big Idea from the BBC World Service with me, David Edmonds. The producer was the honest, competent and reliable Ben Cooper. Now that